The detailed calls report is a report that summarizes everything that's been entered by a rep in terms of achievements, activities, calls, follow-ups, and objectives. To access this report, you go to Sales Team Reports, Detailed Call Report. The first tab is really a detailed view of everything that's been entered in the system. As you know, you can play around with the data that's on the bottom of your screen by going to the column section. A lot of information on the accounts and products can be added, but the two columns that I recommend you adding is the action type, which basically allows you to see the type of objective or achievement that's been added in the system, as well as the objective status or call type, which for an objective tell you if it's completed, planned, or rejected, or the type of call a rep has entered in the system in terms of, a standard call, a phone call, or a planned call, or a quick call. Now, because it looks like an Excel spreadsheet, of course, you can play around with the different toggles. So the filtering option allows you to filter or select more than one option, and it will automatically filter based on what you want to see. You can type in anything in terms of the search bar as well, and it will automatically filter. Or you can always create a rule by clicking on the magnifying glass. You can also look at the information and use this filters for a specific category, a specific account type, and for several dates. You can play around also to extend the time frame. If you're a national agency, you can always click on National Export, and it will pull everything and anything that the reps have entered in the system based on the dates you've entered. Now, the detailed call summary, which is the second tab, is a summary of what's on the first tab. This allows you to see in a summarized view two different reports. The first one, which is the action summary, is for achievements and objectives. Achievements and objectives are linked to a product, which means that you can actually filter by supplier if you wanted to, and use these filtering options to make your search a little bit more precise. Okay, so now, for example, at the bottom of my screen, I'm seeing all of the achievements and the objectives per account that the reps have entered in the system. Now, if I didn't want to see it by account and I want to see it by rep, I can change the grouping, and the grouping will always change the rows that are on the bottom of my screen. So in this case, if I wanted to do the analysis of the actions that one of the reps has entered in the system, I can go and click on Brady in this case, and instead of doing it by territory, I want to know by account where he's actually achieved his objectives and achievements. The way this report is made at the bottom is that you can see the type of objective or achievement at the bottom of your screen, and here the total, here the completed activities based on what's entered here. You can also see how many planned and rejected activities there are for that specific territory. So if I actually do all of the reps, you'll see that the numbers here in terms of completed and planned will change, and I will see by account where all of the reps have accomplished these achievements and objectives. And of course, if you wanted to see only the achievements or only the objectives separately, you can do that as well. Now I'm going to unfilter the supplier, and I will go to the call summary. The call summary is based on activities, calls, and follow-ups entered in the system. So activities, calls, and follow-ups, I'm going to refresh the data per account. We'll have different titles here. So the first section is the type of calls the reps have made in the system. So if I actually go into an account, in terms of the visits that are entered in the system, I can click on New Visits. So here in the visit type, this is what you have access to in terms of the details of the calls that the reps have entered in the system. So here you can see the standard calls, the quick calls, the phone calls, emails, pickup, delivery, or others that the reps have entered in the system. The second part of the call summary is the activities. This you might be less familiar with. The activities can be found under any rep territory, and they can just click on Create New Activity. This is an option that the reps can complete for a specific date. If ever they're sick, they are on vacation, they have a team training. These will be accessible to everybody. That way, at least it's logged in to the system. So under Activity of any rep's My Store. So here we can see that not many have been entered, but one team training was entered right here. Now, here you see the total calls. So the total is on the right here. The total follow-ups and total activities are added up on the right. So the detail on the left and the totals on the right. Now, again, if I wanted to see by rep instead of by account, I just have to change this and I will see by rep for this time frame what's been entered in the system. So again, I repeat, you have two reports in one report. The action summary is for achievements and objectives and are linked to a specific supplier or brand. And then you have the call summary, which are linked to activities, calls, and follow-ups that aren't linked to a supplier or brand. So keep in mind that when you're pulling a report, that nothing will pull if you add those filters in your analysis. Of course, you can export this to Excel, so just click on the Excel button and it will pop up on the left-hand side of your bottom screen. Thank you very much.